Hey, welcome back to CTV Morning Live. It's 9:14, time for Ask the Expert. My good friend Scott Watson is here from Watson's Pharmacy and Wellness Center. If you have questions about today's topic or any topic that might involve a pharmacist, feel free to ask. 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Email us, Facebook us, even tweet us, wherever you want to send your question. We'll try and answer it. Good morning, Scott Watson.
Morning, Kurt.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good, good. What's new and exciting?
Well, we just dealing with the rain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite amazing to see all the snow melt
Gone
away.
like that.
It's incredible.
Disappearing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk, we're going to focus on medication management today.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you say medication management, what exactly are you talking about?
So basically that is, in our role as a pharmacist, we're trying to help people take their medicines better.
Right.
We used to, even before I went to school, I remember pharmacists just kind of got the medicine together and handed it out, and it was kind of forbidden to talk about it. But since I went into school, which was about 20 years ago now, we've kind of learned how to tell people what to do and how to make their medicines work better for them.
So what you're telling me, there is a good reason for labels that say eat, take these medications after eating, or without food, or with water, or not with milk, or there's great reasons for that.
That's right, and it could just be the absorption of a medicine. For example, calcium, we'll talk a little bit about later, can interact with medicines to make them not get absorbed. So,
right.
So those labels do mean a lot.
Yeah. There's also, and you brought along an example, right? So the right drug, the right dose, the right time is very, very important for the drugs to be effective.
That's right, and it's even more so as people get older and they start to take more and more medicine. So that's where your pharmacist can really help you out, because they can arrange even dose sets if you really need the assistance, where they can put the doses at the particular time of day that's going to make the medicine work better and you get the most benefit out of your medicines.
Right. Otherwise, first of all, you're not going to get the benefit of the medication that's been prescribed to you, and second of all, if you really mess around with it, you could do yourself some harm.
Some danger. That's right, Kurt. That's right. And I mean, that's the benefit of these kind of packages, and we do about 40 of these in our pharmacy for people.
Yeah.
And it just, it kind of lays out a breakfast, lunch, supper, bedtime dose that's going to be the best for the medicine and how to get the most benefit.
I want to hold this back up again, because oftentimes you see this in those little plastic organizers for medications. And a lot of times, Scott, let's be honest, immediately you see something like this, oh, well, that's for older people, but not necessarily, right?
Anybody that has, they're like, they wake up in the morning and, gosh, I would be the worst at taking medicines. I would be the absolute worst. So I would love something like this, especially if I was taking...
Odd that you're a pharmacist.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah. But it's just taking things on a regular schedule, and that would be hard for me. So setting up a little system like this would be very beneficial for someone like myself.
Right. What else is all involved in medication management? First of all, we'll talk about the right time.
That's right. And certain drugs that were... as we go forward, we learn that certain medicines do better at certain times of the day. And some big ones that I wanted to talk about today, because it's been in the news recently, is certain blood pressure medicines like the ACE inhibitors. We've used to just kind of prescribe them in the morning, and most people would take them in the morning, but they found that some people weren't getting the most benefit out of those, even though they were taking them every day.
Right.
So if we switch it simply to the bedtime,
yes.
It's going to have a different profile in our body, and it's just going to do more for us. Same thing with statin drugs. So, the Lipitor, the Mevacor, any of the drugs that are used for lowering cholesterol. Our body's production of cholesterol goes up at bedtime, so if we take our drugs in the evening, we're going to get more benefit out of those.
Right. Now, you mentioned dairy in this particular area. What's that?
So, many people see these labels on their prescription bottles, and they do really mean something. And the two examples I say are dairy, because that's calcium, or yogurt, or cheese. Coffee that has a little bit of milk in it. If you take you could take your thyroid medicine, and if you're taking that with a little bit of coffee and a little bit of milk, that calcium can stop the medicine from getting absorbed and doing you good.
I wouldn't guess that coffee is a good thing to take with any sort of medication.
Coffee by itself is okay, but if it's the dairy, that's the thing that we really do worry about.
Well, and you mentioned grapefruit juice under this category as well.
And that's another one. The grapefruit juice, we really noticed early on with the statins that people that had grapefruit juice, it just helps get the medicine into our body. which sometimes could be a good thing, but for certain drugs we're worried because that can increase the amount of side effects.
Really?
And
is that because of the acidity in grapefruit juice and so on? Could that have an effect?
Enzyme. It's an actual enzyme that's inside one of the nutrients that's in grapefruits. And that can just make our body absorb drugs much
We'll talk more about, we'll move on to other topics. The right time is very important, but it's interesting, you know, that people, and I've been guilty of it myself, you look at the label of prescription drugs and it says don't take after a certain hour, whatever.
That's right.
And a lot of times you ignore them, and there's a good reason they're on there.
That's right.
If you have questions about this topic or anything, you know, that you might want to ask our pharmacist today, there's the number, 613-789-6559, extension 2803. Email us questions, Facebook us questions. We'll get back to more of Ask the Expert. Scott Watson is here from Watson's Pharmacy. We'll be right back.